Hey folks, Michael Mann with Michael Mann Security Services. Welcome to Immediate Responder Training Curriculum. Okay, folks, if you want to get a hold of us, get us at contact at michaelmannsecurityservice.com, or you get us at 615-956-3912. All right, folks, let's talk about it. Again, if you've been tuning in, immediate responders are armed security officers who are going to respond to that hostile area when an active shooter is occurring in an attempt to isolate the adversary, prevent him or her from becoming mobile, and neutralize that adversary if necessary. Now, whether you're a private security working in a facility, like you're working for a contractor or maybe proprietary, or you're a church security volunteer, you could be a solo responder. So you could be doing this on your own, maybe because there's only one person there. You could be doing this on your own as let's say a church security volunteer because maybe there's only a few of you and maybe only one responder is in a building. You've got multiple buildings at churches or locations. And so you may be doing this on your own. There's not time to link up with somebody else. Or they could be teams. We call them immediate response teams or IRTs, where we have 2 to 4 security personnel. So this is going to address those immediate responders, and whether you're a solo responder or you're in some sort of a team. So the first piece of the training curriculum is going to be use of force, and what we cover in use of force would be number one, as a private citizen in your state, what does that mean? So if you're leading this, if you're developing this curriculum, what is the use of force rules, very specifically use of deadly force for a private citizen? What circumstances allow them to use deadly force? And of course, what does your policy and procedure look like internally? And you should have some sort of a policy and procedure on use of force, whether you're a church security ministry, you're a contract security organization, or proprietary. Okay. The next element is going to be that handgun standard. We've already done this a couple of weeks ago. We sent this out to you. You should have got a copy of this. If not, you can always send us an email and we'll send it back out to you. But the handgun standard has some basic skills. There's basic skills in your handgun standard. Things like presenting the handgun, loading, unloading, manipulate other manipulation techniques. Like malfunction clearances or stoppages, shooting on the move. So those are all basic skills. There should be some sort of course of fire. What does that course of fire look like? And if you're going to be doing immediate responder stuff, a lot of that stuff should be on the move. So your skill should include shooting on the move. And then, of course, frequency. How often do these immediate responders do this? Once a year, twice a year, quarterly? What does that look like? Then we look at equipment requirements in the training. So what are the equipment requirements for the immediate responders? Is it firearms? You need to put that in the training piece of your basic immediate responder training curriculum. Is it body armor? What does it mean for them to wear that body armor? How does that differ from somebody responding without body armor on? How's that going to impact their movement and their shooting? Communication equipment. Is this going to be radios? Is it going to be some sort of something on their phone? What does that look like? And then, of course, bleeding control kits. How to use that equipment? Communication. Who are you going to communicate with, or who are their emergency responders going to communicate with? Are they going to communicate with facility personnel, first responders, other immediate responders? What does that look like, and what's the process to do that? So you're going to have to train them, or in your curriculum, there should be something in there about training them how to communicate with these folks that they actually have like radio contact with. Okay. And then movement techniques. This is all going to be based on environment resources. So environment, are you teaching interior movement techniques because these personnel are just inside? Or are you going to teach exterior techniques because maybe they're just on an outside post? Or you need to teach both. So there's going to be a difference on movement, whether it's interior or exterior. There's a lot of similarities, but there's going to be some things that are different, like use of cover and concealment, etc. And then resources. This kind of goes back to like the teams versus the solo responder. How many folks are actually responding? And so if I've got a solo responder, those tactics are going to be a little bit different as opposed if I had 2, 3, or 4 responders, because now we're talking about potential formations. Basic assessment and entry techniques. Your curriculum should include threshold assessments and then basic room entry. What does that look like? Okay, this is complicated. These are all specialized skills, but they need to have some kind of idea of what these assessments and these basic room entry techniques look like if this is what they're going to be doing. Maybe they just move in the hallway and just try to contain this person or the active assailant until law enforcement gets there, and you let them handle the assessment room entry. Completely up to you, but this is something that should be in your basic curriculum. And then, of course, once first responders arrive, the police, fire, EMS, what do you do? Do they put their pistols up? Because if they're in plain clothes and the police come in and they see a weapon, they may think that you or your immediate responders are the active assailant. If they're in uniform, what does that mean? What kind of uniform are they wearing? Can they be identified very quickly? And then, of course, once fire and EMS get there, what do you do? What happens? Are you there to make the scene safe? Are you going to help fire and EMS? What are the emergency responders going to do once they get there? So that all should be included in your training curriculum. Hey, if you have a question, you can always get us at contact@michaelmannsecurityservice.com. You can call us at 615-956-3912.